Back in, don't ask me dates because I never even could remember them when I was in school. I was a terrible history. I liked history, but I could never remember dates. In 52, 53, somewhere around in there, a lady by the name of Edna Furick, I'm sure most of you have heard the name, she's the founder of your organization, moved into Island Heights. And she had come from North Jersey, where they had groups such as this one, to which she belonged. And there was nothing in Island Heights or even Ocean County like this when Edna came to town. And she thought that was terrible because she couldn't have the camaraderie of other people who painted and enjoyed art and liked to discuss it. So she started a little group. I think she called it Arts and Crafts or something like that. I don't remember exactly what she did call it. And we met, there were 6 of us, and we met in the First Aid Squad building in Island Heights, which is still there. They have added to it because they have more than one ambulance now, but in those days they didn't. And they let us use it on Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon, I don't recall which. And we would sometimes set up a still life, sometimes we would sit for portraits for each other, and we had a good time. And as I said, there were only about 6 of us. And then it grew with a few more people. Edna was great for going out and finding other people that liked to paint. And come join us, come join us. And some did. And we got up to maybe 25 or 30 people, and we had our first outdoor art show on the corner of Central Avenue and Route 37 in Island Heights. I don't remember what we used to hang the paintings on, but I know I was criticized because I put something up that I copied. I have to do that. So, okay, and I won't. Anyway, it went on from there. We didn't have a home. We met in a Methodist church sometimes. We met in the little building, the First Aid Squad. We met, I don't even remember what it was, someplace in the cellar of the courthouse in Toms River. We also used to have meetings in the, I think it's been destroyed now, in the what used to be the Presbyterian Church as part of the Ocean County Library. I think they have destroyed it now, have they not? Or something, anyway. It used to be a very great place, and my family, I'm a native from around here, and my parents were natives from around here. My grandfather came to town probably when he was in his 20s, and he was the first resident dentist in Toms River. And they were members of that little church, and it used to be a very pretty little church, but they've even taken the tower off and everything, I think, haven't they, where the clock was? Anyway, my son-in-law tells me he's going to get blinders for me, so I can't see what people are doing. They're destroying this and taking down the trees and tearing down the houses and everything else. So anyway, we went on from that. By that time, we had maybe 30 members, 35 members, something like that, and we had some very prominent people come and talk to us and have do demonstrations. As I understand, Lud Thorsten, who now lives in Island Heights, he used to live up in Denville, somewhere way up in the upper part of the state. But he would come down and give us demonstrations and do workshops with us, which he's still doing. And now he lives in Island Heights, so he doesn't have that far to go. One particular meeting that we had just stands out with me. We didn't have a prominent person come in we decided that we would maybe use our own people because we had some talent, good talent in the membership. We set up a still life at the front of the auditorium, and had two of our members paint it. One of them went on to be president, Bill Reese. I remembered his name. Shirley, I couldn't hear she is. I told her that one of our past president's name was Bill something or other, and finally I remembered. Anyway, it was Bill Reese. He wasn't president at the time. And a young gal, Gibson, her last name was. Anyway, Bill Reese was a very realistic painter, and the gal was almost abstract. You couldn't tell what the thing was, but she was she was a modernist, you know. But it was fascinating to watch them begin their paintings. Bill did a very washy, hardly you wouldn't know what the heck it was, except he had the color where he wanted it, you know. And he worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and got it up to realism. The gal, who wound up with something you hardly knew what the heck it was, started with a very meticulous drawing. And then she worked at it and wound up with an abstract painting. And it was just absolutely fascinating to watch. So if you might have two people in your group now who are that different in their completed work, you don't. I had no idea how either one of them started their paintings, but it was just absolutely fascinating. So anyway, after having the one outdoor show, which was pretty sad, we went on to have annual ones at Huddy Park. We had some at the mall in Toms River where Coles is. I've forgotten what it was when we did it, but that one along there, that stretch, we had an outdoor show there. We also had annual membership shows in what used to be the Jersey Shore Savings and Loan on Washington Street. It's now Sovereign Bank, I believe. And we were allowed to set up our screens there in the lobby and have a show, one every year. Again, something comes to mind. Because the members would bring in their pictures, and they would want to get out of there in a hurry to get home and whatnot. So they just picked up the paintings and put them on the wall anywhere. And one of our members came to me and said, "Oh my God," she said, "I'm so ashamed of this show. It's awful. It's just terrible." I said, "Go home. Go home, all of you, go home, and I'll rehang the show for you." I don't know if you appreciate what the people do that hang your shows. It is a job. It's a pleasant job, and you enjoy it, but it's a lot of work because you have to be so careful of what you hang next to what you hang and where you hang it and so forth and so on. And the people, I honestly, I said, "Get the hell out of here, go home." And I locked the doors and I didn't let them back in. And I took everything off the screens and I started all over again. And they came back the next morning and said, "Gee, where did you get these pictures?" It's what you brought in last night. And it is very, very important. And I know that Shirley, I don't know if you're still hanging shows, are you, Cheryl?
How can you get out of it?
You owe her a lot. You really do. And I know Margaret isn't here, and I know Margaret used to do it a lot too. And it's an art in itself, and it's a very, very important so that your shows are appreciated. The people who come in are not aware of it and they don't know, but if they like the show and it's pleasing to them and they stand and look, it's because it's been hung correctly.